Champions standing in the Hall of Fame.
This is an absolute monster ticket and going all the way.
Hi, I'm Nick Brown and welcome to this week's episode of The Agenda, brought to you by Concave. Game Evolve, visit concave.com.au. We've got a big show ahead of us tonight with plenty to talk about, including a couple of teams that are struggling. We'll look at the round 7 action. We'll also have a look at AFL netball, the play of the week, and we'll also talk about the fact that Colin looks to have found a home in the AFL. Who better to talk to about all of this than one of the busiest men on the AFL's media team, Aaron Kirkby-Rodia. Aaron, plenty to talk about this week.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. It has been another massive week in AFL footy across the weekend, and can't wait to have a bit of a chat about it.
Okay, now we're going to start with the hot topic, which is where to for Lilydale, Scoresby and Surrey Park. We're at round 7 already, and those sides are yet to open their account and win a game.
Yeah, look, it was started off with Lilydale. I actually got a chance to go down to the LSO and watch them on the weekend, and I thought they improved a bit of improvement in their footy. Their first half was terrific. They didn't kick a goal in the second half, conceded 15 to Vermont. Obviously playing a good side. I get the feeling they may have missed their chance though to win games at home with a couple of close losses to North Ringwood and to also Blackburn in round 1. They might have missed their chance. But hopefully for the Dales they can have a bit of a second half of the year. For Scoresby, I thought they'd win that game against East Build on the weekend, but it's good to see the Rams getting up. Maybe they might be able to get them a little bit later in the year. And for Surrey Park, that is a bit of a worry. They feel like they've taken so many steps forward since they lost, I think, was it 67 games in a row a few years ago. So hopefully we're not going back down that path with Surrey Park.
Well, let's hope. Is it a case of that their season's over, or do you still give them a slight chance?
Look, I think it's pretty hard for Surrey Park now. But look, they'll be hoping to win a couple of games throughout the year. It's pretty tough with a big loss to Donvale. They're probably a team they could have competed with, I would have thought. Scoresby had a close loss. As I said, we'll probably have to wait until the next game, the reverse fixture, I suppose. And Lilydale, if they can get a couple of close games at home and actually win a game, maybe that young team can find a way to get over the line in another couple of games later in the year.
Let's hope there's still a chance for those teams to get some respect from this season if finals are out of the picture. Now, there are plenty of big games to come in round 7. We'll take a look at a handful of those, starting with the match between Ballwin and Roeville, which Ballwin won by 11 points, a massive win for them.
Yeah, it was, and they were really tested again, the Ballwin Footy Club, going out to Seabeck Oval. Roeville have been terrific. They've knocked off Norwood and Vermont, obviously, there at home. They led for most of the day, and Ballwin sort of pipped them at the end. So a terrific win for Ballwin, but again, another tick for Roeville in that competitive box, and they'll definitely be playing finals football this year.
Well, that's right. It is. It was a gutsy performance by Roeville, another strong performance from them. They probably weren't expected to be such a strong side this year. They've really surprised a few people. So another gutsy performance from them. But you look at Ballwin, they've got to be the hot favourite for the flag.
Yeah, look, they are. I think they'll enjoy this weekend off, obviously, with the Queen's birthday game coming up on Saturday night against Noble Park down there under lights. So they'll enjoy the week off, but they've just recruited so well. And in areas they probably were lacking a little bit last year, they've picked up players, and they're a terrific side. And Blake Broadhurst, he's in some sort of form down there.
After 7 matches, they're undefeated. Is it a chance of peaking too early, or are you confident they'll be able to keep this up for the rest of the season?
Look, they're a pretty good side, Ballwin, and they've got a lot of experienced players in that. Interleague players from all around the state, as well as ex-VFL, and even I think a couple of ex-AFL players still rolling around in their side. So I think they'll know what to do come finals time. They might not finish top of the ladder, but they might lose a game or two in the latter half of the year. But I can't see it being a case of them peaking too early. And
Roeville, you expect them to stay up there where they are?
Yeah, I do. They're a terrific side. They've got some great players running through there. Damien Garner, Cameron Manuel, those sort of players. They're terrific. They're absolutely terrific players. They've got big-bodied ruckmen as well, good forwards, strong running half-backs, good key-backs. They've got a great structure, a terrific coach in Peter Bastanek. They'll be playing finals football without any doubt in this season.
Perfect. Now, we'll also take a look at South Croydon, their win over North Ringwood.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting one. These two teams probably been two of the toughest teams to read in Division 1 throughout this year. Both really in probably that mid-bracket of Division 1. So it was an interesting game, I suppose. I didn't really know who to pick as a favourite going into it. South Croydon winning the game at home, probably what they should have done. Again, they're still very hard to read. I'm going to go out and watch South Croydon this weekend to get a bit more of a gauge on it. But they're doing well enough at the moment, and I don't know whether any of those teams will make finals, but they certainly should be pushing for that 5th spot.
You knew those two teams, there wasn't a lot between them, 8-point margin in the end, so that just shows how close they are.
Yeah, I think that's probably about right. As I said, there's a real mid-bracket, I think, in Division 1 this year, and those teams are both definitely in it.
Okay, the other match is Waverley Blues, their 3-point win over Mulgrave.
Yeah, unbelievable game at the Heights Reserve down at Mulgrave there. I think Mulgrave kicked 9 goals to 3 in the first quarter, so Waverley were down by a fair bit, and I think even at 3-quarter time they were still down by 28 points, so from reading the scores, it seems like there might have been a bit of a win there or something, but terrifically to win. I think might have been Sleverson maybe who kicked the winning goal. Forgive me if that's wrong, but very late in the game to put them in front. So that's a terrific win for Waverley Blues. They'd gone off the boil a little bit after a terrific start to the year, but hopefully they can stay up there and play some finals footy this season.
A couple of other wins, winning sides. We had Croydon, Bronia, Glen Hawks and Kilsyth.
Yeah, look, Glen Waverley Hawks is one who really stands out to me. Obviously not winning a game last year in Division 3, gone down to Division 4, and they're winning games for fun at the moment. It's terrific down there and really good for the club and to win some games. They've got a terrific ground, as I said, down there at Central Reserve, and that's great for that footy club. Kilsyth, I think, have been underperformed a little bit this year. I've been pretty harsh on them. Good win for them on the weekend, and they made sure they're winning the games they should. Also, Croydon bouncing back from their first loss to Montana South with a massive win against Doncaster Reach, which a lot of people through the media and through the AFL thought was going to be close. So that's terrific, and Bronia back on the winners list after a poor last couple of weeks.
So any massive surprises from those winners, or do you expect those ones to be on the winners list this week?
Look, I think that there wasn't too much surprise there. But look, they all won close games. I think they might have all been favourites going into those games. Some people might have tipped the other way. I think maybe, in a sense, Croydon after a loss, I still think they were the favourites against Doncaster Reach, but with Dean Lim back in such terrific form, for him to only kick 2 goals and Doncaster Reach get beaten fairly heavily, I think that might have been the biggest surprise out of all those at the margin they won by.
Now, this year in the AFL, Colin has made plenty of headlines and he's been the talk of the media for most of the year. Now he's being talked about in the AFL, as it looks like he's found himself a home at Templestowe. Now, looking at that, I don't think it's the Dockers connection with Fremantle and Templestowe. It looks more to be maybe a tie there between Stride Management and Templestowe getting Colin down there.
Yeah, look, it's a terrific coup for that footy club. They probably haven't started the season as well as they would have liked after making the Division 3 grand final last year, Templestowe. Look, Colin's going to be great to go down there, and he's going to provide them with some real grunt. We know how he played his footy, and when he was in his best form, he's a terrific player, and he's somebody that's going to be great for them. Hopefully he plays quite a few games down there and can get to see the Dockers play some finals footy and some good finals footy as well.
Definitely, because as you touched on there, we're not sure how many games he's going to play, or even if he will play. It looks like he will. If he does, that's a huge boost for their finals chances.
Yeah, look, that's massive, especially adding to the fact that Lee Murphy will be back in that side fairly soon after a broken wrist. So to get Lee Murphy and Colin Sylvia and some of the other guys running around in that midfield, they're already a very good Division 3 side. They'll make them a lot better.
It's now time for the AFL TV Play of the Week, brought to you by Westfield Knox. Now, last week we had a massive week in regards to nominations, as we received the most votes ever for the segment. This week we want to try and match that, so here's this week's Plays of the Week. Now we're going to switch our focus from the football to the netball as we take a look at the action from last Friday night, and who better to talk us through it than Aaron, the AFL netball expert.
I'm not quite sure about an expert, Nick, but look, there's been some terrific games. But Eastern Lions holding sway continually. They were dangerous in the pre-season. They're continuing to do that in the regular season. They're 2 games ahead on top in Division 1. In Division 2, Lilydale and Norwood Gold are a game on top ahead. Lilydale ahead on percentage there. Moving into Division 3, and 3 teams sit at the top of the ladder, all on 4 wins and 1 loss. Murrelbach, Coldstream Black and Scoresby, so tight, very tight at the top there. And all the way down in Division 4, the Basin Red, surprisingly, jumped ahead of Forest Hill, who were favoured early on in the season there, a game ahead there, with a massive percentage of 188. So the Basin Red are flying in Division 4.
Now, up to this point in the season, there's been some huge games in the AFL, and this weekend there's arguably one of the biggest, and that is between Mitcham and the Basin, which will be played at Mitcham, and of course that's this week's radio game. Aaron, looking forward to that one.
Oh, I can't wait. That's going to be a huge game. Both teams undefeated in Division 3. The Basin a bit of a surprise, but as I say, dare to beat the Bear. They are going in as favourites for me this weekend, the Basin. They are terrific. Mitcham, though, certainly not out of form by any sense of the word, but this is going to be massive. This is a pancake parlour game of the day on Saturday, so don't forget to tune into that on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Pre-match from 1 and the game from 2.
So you're tipping the Basin there? Is that your tip?
Yes, I've been on the Bears for the last few weeks. Really excited about the way they're playing their footy. They're having massive scores, they're scoring high, as do Mitcham, but I'm going to jump on them this weekend, and I think they can win the flag in Division 3.
Big call there.
Well, I was on South Belgrave's bandwagon for a long time, Nick, and they've had another bad loss on the weekend. So
you've jumped off and jumped on another bandwagon.
I'm not going to quite jump off just yet.
Okay. Well, I've seen Mitcham. I've seen them against Templestowe, and obviously they were fantastic in that. They won that game. I haven't seen the Basin in person, but looking at the results so far, I'm probably going to have to back the Basin also. Another big moment this week in the AFL is Mitcham and Mulgrave both play their 1,000th game as a club. We've seen this milestone come up a few times in the last few seasons. Another 2 clubs racking up the 1,000th game.
Well, it's terrific, and hopefully these 2 clubs can have results similar to Doncaster. It'd be great for Mitcham, as I said, already match of the round, for them to celebrate their 1,000th game as well. It's terrific for them. And also Mulgrave Footy Club, they've improved form in the last fortnight, so they should have a terrific game on Saturday, and hopefully everyone gets down there, all their past players, and has a great day, because it is a celebration. 1,000 games is a great achievement.
Yep.